Just a brief update on how the Is It Time for Tea machine is going. Last time I put anything up on Facebook and YouTube and things, I think I'm just working on trying to get the head, the 3D printed head, to work together. By the way, just for people who aren't aware what the machine is, it's a machine that mounts on the wall and you go over to it, and if you want to know whether it is time for tea, you press a button and push a knob or whatever, and an animated automaton head comes alive on top, has a look at some gauges and things, and then tells you the answer in a nice scratchy voice. I got the idea from a porcelain head like this one, which were very popular in Victorian times. But obviously it doesn't move, and I needed some way of getting it animated, so I ended up venturing into the world of 3D printing, which has had its challenges but is absolutely amazing. I mean, you look at that. That's a separately printed eye that is held in place simply by the shape, the socket that it can push and click into. Absolutely amazing. So having got that far, I then went ahead and managed to get print one that's animated, or that I could animate. So this one's got, as you can see, a moving jaw, and the whole head rotates on a neck, and the eyes rotate as well. So I imagine it would start off like that with the head pointing downwards, and you come in, switch on the machine to ask if it's time for tea. It then suddenly comes alive, the eyes roll round and it starts speaking to you, and then turns round and looks at some gauges on one side, looks at some gauges on the other, like temperature and time and things, comes back, looks at you and tells you whether it is time for tea or not, and then just goes back to sleep. So that's the idea. That was the first head, but there were some issues with it, such as, if you can see, me learning that you can't actually 3D print onto nothing, because it just ends up producing sort of plastic spaghetti. So with the latest version of the head, which is this one, looks the same, but there are many improvements. I've got, oops a daisy, I've redone the jaw, so an improved hinge system, and also a back bit to it, so that as it opens and closes it can be black, so you can't see inside the head. And I've started working on the actual mechanisms and levers and things to help or allow me to make the mouth and the eyes and everything move. An improved neck as well. And today I'm working on how to get this to turn, how we're going to fix this on top of a wooden cabinet. It needs some sort of bearing so it can turn freely, and rather than using a thrust bearing, which they cost probably for one this size £35, but again, if you look hard enough you can always find a cheap version of some way of achieving a problem. This is a bearing off a Lazy Susan, and these come in all sorts of sizes. I think this is the smallest one, and this £3.50 I think it cost. It's got the balls inside, so the friction is almost nothing, and I'm currently working out how to fix the neck onto that to get this, and also how to fix this into the cabinet. I started off thinking, well, that's okay, we could print some sort of adapter that would turn the square bearing or square Lazy Susan thing into a support for the neck, something like that. But once I'd printed it out and lined it up, it just didn't look right. I don't like the square. It needs to be round. Otherwise I think it'll detract from the look of the whole thing, having the head on top. So I'm now working out how I can link this all together, possibly having this lovely turned oak doorbell push actually thing on top of the cabinet, so the head can go on top of this and be turning, because that would look really nice. And that's as far as I've got so far. I'm planning to use these little stepper motors to move everything. They're very convenient because they've got a lot of torque, so they're very powerful, and they only need one wire from the computer or the Arduino or whatever I'm controlling it with. I need one wire to set the exact position, so it means I could connect lots of these up to one single Arduino computer to get it all to work. So that's what I'm thinking about doing with that. So I've stopped using the 3D designer and I'm back onto 2D design, working with what I know and love, which is 2 dimensions rather than 3. I'm just working on something to be cut out by the laser cutter that will allow me to mount the neck onto the bearing, so to speak. I'm sure that's not going to come out, but you get the idea. So that's progress so far. Oh, and also hair. Hair today, gone tomorrow. I haven't got much hair, so it's not an issue. But luckily, that first doll, the ceramic doll, came with a really nice head of hair, which my wife has very kindly washed and cleaned and things. So I'm going to use that on the head somehow. Yeah, as you can see, I'm no expert on hair. That looks really quite disturbing. But so that's what the stage I'm at the moment. So it's all very exciting, and I'll keep you posted as to the next steps. Say goodbye. Thanks for watching. Hope to speak to you soon.